Hey guys, I got a 1984 Corvette that I've had for about 3 years, and I'm just getting around to getting it painted. I started disassembling it. It's a project that really goes a lot longer than you think. I started taking it apart. I was having problems getting the nuts off of this rubber. As you can see, this is my old front bumper skin, and it was going to cost a lot of money to put the rubber back on, and there was no videos I could find on YouTube that showed me how to glass these guys in to get rid of the rubber. So I figured I'd take a little short video, show you what I did. And I seen one video on YouTube that somebody did this with, and I finally found this stuff. This is a Everglass. I'll show you the package here in a minute. It's a can, comes in a gallon. It's about 65 bucks. And it's a lot of work, but I knew when I got the 84 that I was not gonna keep it original when I did it. And I'll just take you around various parts that I've got, show you the car and what I've done so far. This is the new bumper skin. Get out of the sun here if I can. It's pretty glary. Maybe I get on this other side. I've got the front bumper skin pretty much done. I've got a little bit here on the other side that still needs to be touched up. I put some more glass on it. And I got the two markers to fit. They didn't fit with a darn. Took quite a bit of effort to get them in, about 20 minutes a piece. As you can see, it needs a little sanding here, but I've actually got the bumper fit 3 times. I know where the holes have to be drilled. Some of them are already drilled. It's you got to bolt it about, or get it up there about 4 times, I think, before you can call it good enough to paint. The sun's pretty glary. We'll take you in and show you the rest of the car here. But I think this extra effort glassing is really going to pay off. Going to have some nice streamline. That's my booth I made. It's going to go away when I'm done. Here's my little work area. Right now it's about 98 in the shade, so I'm not really interested in doing much body work, even though I do have some air in here, one blowing and one down at the other end sucking. But anyhow, this is the original bumper that came with the car, and it's the urethane, and it was really a lot of bows in it. This right here is the different stuff that I put on there. I'll show you that in a minute. It's more of a short-haired glass, but this is that Everglass, and you can't really tell, but this stuff is really smooth. This is actually ready to prime, and I'm going to have House of Colors Oriental Blue on the car. And I went around on the urethane several spots and tried to make this, you know, as smooth as I can, because I've seen a lot of the cars, and especially this one here, is really dippy. And even though it doesn't look like it's real smooth, it actually is. With the primer on there, I'll be able to block it off really well. This is the driver's side, and you know, it's just going to have a really smooth contour look. No big black rubber all the way around the car. I did not want any of that. Get back here, show you this again. My video is basically just to show you how I glass the rubber areas in. You know, where the two pieces meet. You know, the top piece and the bottom piece. Because where the rubber was is the fix for GM. It was a cheap fix for the two-piece body, you know, to come together. It's just nasty. Every one of the 84s I've seen's really bad. I mean, just ugly. I'm already gonna have about, I don't know, $2,000 just in the paint alone, so There was some damage on the front hood. I actually used Bondo on here before I discovered that Everglass, so I feel pretty confident there won't be too much flex up here on this. And like I said, I've had this front bumper on a few times, and it doesn't fit quite like the urethane does, but that's the way it is. I'm making it work, and it's going to look alright. And of course, as you get in deeper and deeper to the car, fog light, got one coming. That needs to be replaced. Then back over here to what I used. The stuff that I actually put in the channel where the rubber was is this Everglass short strand fiberglass, and it looks like Bondo, like blue Bondo. The hardener's blue. It goes on really well, but you don't want to overdo it. You always want to tape your lines. The first time I did it, you know, it's got Kevlar in it, so it's really hard to sand, even though it says that it sands really well. Like there, you probably can pause it and read this, but it's ridiculous. I had to get 36 grit to knock it down. This over here, this is the actual, they said to put this on top, which I don't think is correct. This is it for the SMC panels, like what's on the car here, you know, the urethane, those type of panels. And it filled my voids up really well, you know, for the plastics back there. It does have a little flex to it. It won't crack. And so I can get up here. Reinforced repair compound filler. It's blue, and it goes on really orange peely. You know, the resins with that short hair in it. It's more like Bondo glass is how it goes on actually. But I actually put the this Everglass over the top of it after I had sanded it down with 80 grit and got it where I really liked it. And I finished it out with this stuff here, that short strand fiberglass Everglass, and that really did a good job. So overall, you know, the hood's almost ready to paint. I actually took a razor blade to it. I found that was really easy to get it off. Really worked out pretty well. There's a few things I need to do yet. This is the old panel. I've got two new panels, two new used panels to put on. You know, typical project. There's the headlight assemblies. I've got to pull them apart and get these ready to prime. There's the gas lid. Anyway, it turned out to be a huge project. Glad I'm doing it. You know, I took the doors out. I wasn't going to, but I think it's best if I do, because I'm only going to paint it once. And like I said, this stuff is really, I'm so glad that I've done this. And I just wanted to show anybody that's interested in getting rid of their rubber, if they're going to do a Corvette like this, I'd recommend doing that. I've got only 200 bucks just in the material alone, which isn't too bad. Down here, there was like a big dip. This is like a plastic rocker panel, so I didn't want that showing through my candy, so I'm gonna work on that. That's just my first rough coat. I get that looking nice, and I gotta get my louver panels, bolt them up and make sure everything's good, and put my front bumper skin back on, make sure that it really fits good like I like it. And once I'm satisfied with that, then we can get ready to put some sand on it, or excuse me, some primer. A while back, when I first started this thing, I put this soundproofing stuff in here, just that rubber mat, soundproof mat, sticky in the back, you roll it on. Try to get rid of that road noise. These panels are really thin, and you get back here on the dash, you see this nasty bread box. Well, I got a panel for that. I'll have some more videos coming as I go through. I'll just make this my first video. It's basically to show you the missing rubber now. You know, the new 84 for me, and anybody else that may be interested. in doing this on their car. I highly recommend it. I think it's going to look great when it's done. The contour, you know, you're not going to have that nasty rubber on there. I've seen them painted, I've seen them put back on black, and they're just fugly. Best word I could use. And anyhow, up here, you know, if you rub your hand across this now, the waves are, you know, gone. I really like that. You know, there was, like right in here, there was, you know, the dips. I know it's contoured anyway, but this is kind of more flat. It was a real bad dip. Same thing on the other side. And this back bumper had 2 layers, 2 coats of paint. I actually had to get some stripper for it. And you know, in the process there was some stress cracks going across here where maybe somebody had bumped it at one time and cracked it. That's actually Bondo before I got the Everglass, but I think that'll be alright. It's not in a flexible area, whereas down in here, you know, these areas are. So anyway, that's what we got. And man, I hope that maybe somebody sees this video and says, wow, there's what I need to use to get rid of that rubber. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll have more videos as I go along. And like I said, this car is going to be painted House of Colors Oriental Blue Candy, and hopefully within the next month I can actually be ready to start putting on some paint.